I've got clients that are getting a 26 to 1 that are still scrutinizing the budget. And I'm going, huh? Why are we at 26 to 1 top line revenue? And as I start to think about the why, I start realizing that people don't understand SEO, right? These executives go, oh, you just put up some content and sprinkle some fairy dust on it. Well, that's not the case. I wanted to spend some time today and talk about a handful of things that have, kind of been on my mind. As we're going through this, this economy and right, things are tough for everybody. Been just a tough year. Um, what to do, when to do it, budgets are getting cut. You never really know what to do. So one of the things I wanted to start off talking about today was, right, a lot of people are feeling like budgets, right? Budgets are starting to be scrutinized. How much are we spending? What are we getting in return? And, one of the things I've noticed is that SEO seems to be the first one to get cut. And as an SEO guy, that gets annoying. I mean, I've got clients that are getting a 26 to 1 that are still scrutinizing the budget. And I'm going, huh? Why are we at 26 to 1 top line revenue, but it's still being scrutinized? So I start asking myself why. And as I start to think about the why, I start realizing that people don't understand SEO, right? SEO has been, overcomplicated for so many years. And why? This is the question. Because I'm sitting there on a conversation with a client literally just yesterday, the 26 to 1, and they're really just scrutinizing the budget. They're trying to see the value. What is SEO doing for us? We just have this amazing brand and people just type it. And that's where we're getting all our revenue. And I'm going, well, thanks for the enthusiasm, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, if that were the case, you guys wouldn't have any marketing budget because people would just know you and they would just type in your name and you would just break into cash and stash it in a storage place somewhere. That's not the case. And so building a business case for keeping SEO, and not even keeping SEO, this is a business case really for anything. I don't care if it's paid search, email marketing, it doesn't matter. You got to start looking with the same basic lens. And as you start to think about SEO and why, right, SEO is that first of the chopping block. Well, they don't understand it, right? We kind of went over that. They don't understand it. These executives go, oh, you just put up some content and sprinkle some fairy dust on it. Well, that's not the case. So when you think about that business case, look at a handful of things as you look at it. Don't just think direct ROI. Because you know what? The chances of you finding a one-to-one, like paid search, I spent $1 and got $1, you can get that, but you got to think a little bit more creatively. A couple things that, really want to point on when you're thinking about a business case. What are soft KPIs that you can also add into it? Here's an example of a soft KPI. Guy was on with one of our clients a couple weeks ago, and they're coming to use us for just content production. They need good quality SEO content. They have an SEO manager. They just don't have the bandwidth to do it, so they came to us. And as I was sitting there talking to my client, it was a really good interaction. She's like, Jesse, this is great content. You guys have hit our mark on personas and our target audience. And not only can I use it for SEO and it's working, I could use that for email. I can use that for paid search. I can use that for display. I can use that in basic sales material in collateral. That to me now has a value associated with that content that is not directly attributed to SEO, but the SEO initiative is what's drove that particular action. So that's an interesting KPI to kind of keep an eye on. Impressions. People go, oh, I need clicks. I need clicks. I need clicks. No, first you need eyeballs. If people aren't seeing you, and rank doesn't necessarily mean you get more eyeballs. It's about being relevant to that audience. When people are typing things, you want to be there to raise your hand and say, guess what? I have the answer. Another thing to think about there on that other side. Also, what are the channels that they're using? In GA4, there is a section under, I think, retention or monetization that tells you the different channels they used before they made a conversion. And if you go in and look that data, you will find that there is not someone just going to paid search and just buying paid search. They're not just going to SEO and then buying from you via SEO. Email, it doesn't matter. What they're doing are multiple touch points. You're communicating with them about many different things through many different avenues. And so as you do that, you start to see those touch points. So back to the one-to-one, if you're trying to find a one-to-one, really in any marketing channel, they don't exist, because guess what? That brings up that thing called attribution, right? And so as you're doing that business case, think creatively. Don't just think a direct line, right? If you think about someone who's going to climb to the top of the mountain, they don't just pick a straight line and go up to the top. Why? Because there could be a cliff there, a waterfall, a tree gets in your way, a bear, whatever. But you're zigzagging your way up that hill to get to the top. Okay. One of the final things I would recommend as you're going through this is education. Education, education, education with your execs. Be your boss. Manage this up, because they don't understand. Paid search is easy. I put money in the machine and it spits out traffic. That's a very easy thing to do. SEO takes a little bit more work. It takes a little bit of strategy. It takes a long time to get, well, maybe not a long time, but it takes longer than paid search to get there. But it also takes a long time for it to get, you don't just turn off SEO and it just goes away overnight. People who say that are wrong. But the slow burn up, oh, it'll slow cool down. Mark my words. So then going in there and showing how all of these channels play off each other and what that attribution, that's another business case you have. But the underlying theme across the business case is education. Spend your time socializing this across your organization, whether it be dev, whether it be your content team, whether it be your Marcom team, whether it be your C-suite, whether it be your executive team. Doesn't matter. Let them know of the wins and what this means to them. Because until it means anything to them, they don't care. That's like most people. I mean, come on, Eddie Murphy Raw. Eddie, what have you done for me lately? Right? Like, I mean, we've all seen it. It's hilarious. But that's real. There's a lot of truth in that skit that Eddie Murphy had, is what have you done for me lately? So if you're constantly showing them things that you have done for them lately or done for them now, your education curve is going to be a little bit easier.